Hello everyone and welcome back to Coloring with Haley. It's time to share my finished pages for November with you. And we'll start out with the markers that I've ran out of. So we got a couple of Sharpies and Bic markers here. This one is like a new marker, but it was just completely dry, like out of the gate, so that's unfortunate. And I had this ancient one. And again, more of the Ohuhu markers. A ton of those. And a very old Caviar marker finally dried up. So, quite a few markers for this month. Now, I didn't color in too many books this month because my college semester is winding down and I've been very, very busy. But I get almost the whole month of December off, so hopefully I'll get to color more pages in December. So, let's start out with this classic that I've been coloring 2 pages a month in. Dazzling Animals, Mosaics Color by Number, Bright Ideas, Paper Publishing, you know, Jennifer Rawling, Cactus Girl. She publishes under a lot of different names. So, I'm just continuing to do these in order, and we've got this parrot here, this macaw. There are a lot of birds in this book. I have noticed that. She must really like birds. And I'm still just using water-based markers on these, and they come out great. And then next was this really, really cute picture here with these 2 cats looking at the moon. And this here was all supposed to be black, but I didn't feel like making the sky black, so I chose a dark purple. Rarely ever will I change the color on a color by number like that, but I just wasn't feeling the black sky, and I think the purple looks really good. So this is a really, really cute page. I love how that turned out. Next, I did a page toward the end of this month for Christmas out of 50 Christmas Miniatures by Camellia Angelkova. It's these 2 cats here. And I made this one a calico cat, and this one's just a little gray and white kitty. There's no glitter on this for a change. Just colored with alcohol markers, and I did a little bit of outlining and shading in a few places with water-based markers. I've got another Christmas book here. I've got Matchstick Mouse Christmas Coloring Book. Time to break this one out. And I had a lot of glitter on this page, so I had a paper in between it so that it could dry. But here is the Matchstick Mouse decorating a Christmas tree with the worm and the cat bug there, and you can see all the glitter on the star there on top of the tree. I just straight color these pages with alcohol markers, and that's it. I might add some glitter or some paint, but I don't do anything with these really special. And then we had this super cute page where the Matchstick Mouse has given the owl a gift. I'd like to think that she knitted him this scarf and his hat, maybe. That's another really cute page. I figure I'll work in that book a lot next month. So I did 4 pages out of Color Questopia's Animals, and I've got 4 pages left, so I'm going to try to finish this next month. So first up, we've got what I think is cockatiels, but they're pink. So this one doesn't bother me. The colors weren't too crazy here. And I actually don't think that any of the numbers were wrong or missing or doubled or anything like that. I think this one was pretty fine. And next we have this tiger, and I actually like all of the colors in the background on this one too. Although his pupils and like the ring around his eyes didn't have a color specified, so I made his eyes blue. And then we've got this duck. Very interesting. Red water. Not sure what's going on there. Now, this one had the number 22 several times on the page, and the numbers over here end with 21. So I just wrote in 22 and made it orange because I didn't really know what color to make it, and there was already a lot of orange on the page, so I just thought it made sense to make it orange, maybe. Okay, I guess I did 5 pages in here, actually, because there's another one. So these are probably ostriches or maybe even emus. Not too sure. But this one turned out fine as well. I don't think I had any problems on this page. And lastly, we've got this little green bird. A lot of birds this month. So here he is. Not sure what type of bird this is supposed to be, or if it's just a made-up bird, but, you know, he's cute. And all of this in the back here is bonus pages, which I'm not going to color. I don't color the bonus pages, so I might use an X-Acto knife and cut those out once I actually finish the book. Up next is my Space Girls and Aliens by Deborah Muller. I finished this book this month. I had 3 pages left, so let's get to those. First, we've got this page here. This is the last page I did because it's probably my least favorite page in the book. She's kind of giving me orc vibes from Lord of the Rings, so that's what I made her look like. And there's a lot of glitter on her jewelry there. Like on her ears and on her horns. And then I had this cute alien girl with an onion maybe down here. I'm not really sure what's going on there, but I really love how this page turned out. She's really cute. And there's Posca paint on the back of these. They look like atoms. You know, like in Science and Atom, the way they've got the lines around them. And there is a lot of glitter on here because all of her little, like, scales are done with glitter. Yeah. And then the onion is just, I don't know, it's an onion that's down there. I don't know, I guess maybe it's an alien too. And then I had this page here, which I was going to make her orange, but alcohol marker sets never give you a lot of orange markers, and so I made her pink instead. I was going to do like a tiger. So she's pink and black instead. And yes, I did actually color the background on this one for once. Rarely ever do I color the whole background, but I wanted to keep up with the black and pink thing. And I did color her eyes in solid black just to give her more of an alien look. And there is some of the glitter in her eyes too. It's that dragonfly glaze paint, which it's much more glittery in person than what shows up on camera. It doesn't show up as well as like the metallic gel pens do. And then there is some white gel pen highlights on her and over here on the UFO. So I'll have to do a flip through of this whole book since I finished it. That's probably the first Deborah Muller book I've ever finished, I think. So next up I have North Pole Elves by Morgan O'Brien. I did, of course, go out and buy this book. I tend to buy everything Morgan O'Brien puts out. I just haven't bought the Star Wars one, and I probably will end up at some point getting it. But I had to get this one for Christmas. Plan to color it more next month. And I only got to 1 page in it, but I did this polar bear, and he's being fed a little salmon by this little elf. And there is a lot of white paint over here on the snow in the background and the snow-capped trees. But I wanted to do this page first. I knew I had to do it right away because it was just so cute. I love the pages in these books that have the animals in them. They're so adorable. I hope he does some more books like this that kind of have little human characters in them because I really like that one. So next up, I have Color by Colors Women's World by Kira Schursneva. This is on the nicer slick paper. I like to do the color by colors on that paper. And I'm going to start from the back in this book and go forward. So this is Scotland, and I used just Sharpies and Bic markers. They are perfect for these types of color by color books by Kira Schursneva, especially because her color palette back here is only like 25 colors, and you can pretty much find every color in the Sharpies or Bic markers now. And I even tried out my new skin tone Sharpies. That's what her skin tone is done with, and they look fantastic. Of course, because these are shiny, they're a little bit hard to show on camera without it catching some of the light and kind of flashing out. But here she is. This is the girl representing Scotland. I really love the color by color books, and I hope she puts out more of them. So I have Alexander Friend's essays Winter Chibis, but I picked up the travel size. And I've done the very first page here, which this could be a boy or a girl with their little husky. And I assume he's going to pull the sled. So yeah, their outfits may be a little bit crazy, but I was just feeling like using some very bright colors. So, turned out a little crazy, but I think it's still cute. Used a couple of white highlights just on the sled back there. And I always color these just with alcohol markers, and I kind of follow what little bit of grayscale that she puts down here to do the shading. And I think it really turns out nice, and it helps because I'm not the best at knowing where the shading is supposed to go. We've got another Morgan O'Brien book. You've noticed that I've colored in a lot of his books this month. He's probably my favorite artist for the year, I think. So this is the autumn book, and I did this page here where the Matchstick mouse is either receiving a lot of mail or maybe she works at the post office and is sorting it. I'm not sure. No glitter or paint on this page. It was just straight colored with alcohol markers, and I think it turned out very, very cute. And then back here we have this page where the Matchstick mouse is with her mom, and her mom seems to have made muffins or maybe cupcakes. But she's made them for everyone because the worm is here, and so is the cat bug. And there was no glitter on this page. There's a little bit of white highlights. I just do their whiskers in white sometimes, not on every page, but I did it on this page. I guess I just do it when I feel like it, really. But I felt like it on this page. Oh, and you know what? The spider's here too, so she made a muffin for like all 4 of them. So, if you thought that I was done with Morgan O'Brien books, you're wrong, because I have one more for this month. And I believe I have 3 pages left in this book, so I'm also going to finish this book next month. I have been coloring in it all year, hands down my favorite book by Morgan O'Brien, although probably because I like the game it's based on so much. So I did this one. This is Celeste and Blathers, looking at the moon, and this one turned out so adorable, and the stars are a little bit glittery, although they're so small it may not really catch and show up too well on the camera. And there's some white highlights on the water here and here. But I love how this one turned out. I always do pull up pictures of the characters so I can try to get their colors as accurately as possible. This might be one of my favorite pages out of the book that I've done so far. And then I did this page here with the rainy day, and I made it fall because it was been very rainy fall here in Missouri, and I cannot remember this little elephant's name, although I looked him up to color him. I remember that. Hold on. This is going to bother me if I don't know his name. So I'm going to look it up really quickly. Anyway, I did use white highlights back here on the water. I thought about doing it for every single raindrop, but I decided not to because, I don't know, I didn't think it would look too nice. And no glitter, just white highlights. And this elephant is named Dizzy. There you go. I figured that out. So yes, I just have 3 pages left in here. Love the little present floating in the background. Loved that book a lot. And next up I have Easy Christmas by Joshua Dunbar. I did 2 pages in here. And to start out, I did the cat with the Christmas lights all around him. And he's a little bit more neon orange than I might have wanted, but again, they never give you that many orange markers in a given set of alcohol markers, and I kind of only had this neon color left, and I did use it all up on this page. So I colored this very early on in the month, and it was like one of my last orange markers. I do the same thing in his books I do with Alexandra's, where I follow what little grayscaling he has in here to do the shading. And I think this page turned out really cute because it's always the orange striped cats that seem to get into the most trouble. And then I did this one, decorating the Christmas tree with popcorn. I don't actually know anyone that does this. We don't. Do you guys? I see this, and it's always like a thing in movies and TV shows, but I've never actually been to anyone's house where they've decorated their tree with popcorn. So do you guys do that? You should let me know. And like, what is the tradition? Where did that start, I wonder? But this one is fun. I, again, followed the shading and I made all the popcorn look really nice and buttery. I like coloring popcorn a lot. I don't really know why. Alright, my last book for this month is 50 Farmers Miniatures by Camellia Angelkova. And I did 2 pages in here. This is probably my favorite Camellia Angelkova book that she's put out. I really like this one. And I actually did the nameplate page, and I never ever do nameplate pages, so that tells you how much I like this book. I did not write my name in here. I made Doug do it because my handwriting is horrible and awful, but he has very nice handwriting, so he wrote my name in here for me. And as always, alcohol marker, a little bit of outlining with water-based marker, and I actually put some stickers on the edge of the line for the nameplate too. It's these little butterflies, and they are kind of shimmery and shiny. They are orange and black, and I thought they kind of went with the whole color scheme I had here with this little cow. So I like how this worked out. And then I have this super cute page here with the mouse driving the tractor, and he's got this other mouse riding in the back of his tractor. And I really love how these pages in this book turn out. Again, absolutely my favorite Camellia Angelkova book, hands down. So here we go. He's on his little green tractor. It's got this little mouse back here riding in the back in this like bucket. And I used a lot of white highlights on this, on the tractor and on the tires and on the hats. And I didn't color the clouds. I kind of just did a little bit of outlining with some light blue. I try to, you know, change up the colors on clouds from time to time, so it's not always the same. And we can take a look at my journal for this month, November. I had 3 goals lined out for myself. I wanted to finish Space Girls and Aliens. I wanted to do 20 pages total, and I wanted to do a Thanksgiving page, which, guys, I absolutely could not find. I even was kind of like, you know what, I'll just take a page with a turkey on it, and I guess there really aren't that many because I've colored every page I have with a turkey on it in the past. So yeah, I didn't get to do a Thanksgiving page, but here's the layout for this month. You can tell what days I'm very busy on with class and what days I'm like less likely to be busy on. And you know what? Once again, I don't remember to write down the number of pages I colored in a month before I film. So give me a second here. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So I'm keeping up a pretty good average every month then. I'm starting to do over 20 pages in a month, and I think it's because I've colored a lot of Morgan O'Brien's pages, and they are kind of smaller. And when I color those, I tend to do 2 in one setting, because they take me maybe 30 minutes a piece. So 23 pages, that's really good for this month. So not a huge variety in the books, especially since I colored so many of Morgan O'Brien's books this month. I guess you can tell really that he is becoming my favorite artist. But I still got an average amount of pages done despite being so busy, so I'm happy with that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.